Yo, what's going on, guys? Troy here with WeightGainNetwork.com, and I'm on vacation in Brazil, and it is absolutely beautiful here. I mean, just check out this amazing view here. I wish I could have filmed at the beach and, shown you guys some of the beautiful Brazilian women, but we'd have to censor out a lot of things, so we don't want to have to go through all that struggle, and I want to leave it up to you guys' imagination so you guys are motivated and hungry to travel here yourself. And the thing about going on vacation and chilling at the beach is you want to go when you're feeling good about yourself. You want to go when you're feeling swole and you're feeling jacked. So I want to get into 5 different things that I see from almost every naturally skinny guy that they're doing wrong when they hit that plateau and they're not seeing those strength and those lean muscle gains. So let me dive right into this because it is absolutely beautiful here. I want to get back to chilling at the beach, macking on these beautiful Brazilian girls. So let me dive right into this list. First thing holding you back from lean muscle and strength gains is what I like to call unbalanced training. And this is basically when you put too much emphasis on one muscle group versus the opposing muscle group. So think about this, guys. So you have your chest, and if all you do is develop your chest and you don't develop those back muscles to support it, it's gonna really hold you back from increasing the muscles in your back and increasing your overall strength. So you gotta think of like all these opposing muscle groups and all these different groups in your body, working in cohesion to each other. So that's why it's like you can't go to the gym and just work out your biceps every single day for years and years and have these monster, huge arms. You have to work, the body's largest and strongest muscle groups, and I really say emphasize working on them equally. So a really easy 3-day training split is you can do a push-pull day. So you do bench and incline and decline, and then you do pull exercises like you do barbell row and the seated row. You can do some dumbbell one-arm row, all that good stuff. So push-pull, you're doing opposing muscle groups. And then when you're doing a leg day, make sure you're not putting too much emphasis on your quadriceps versus your hamstrings. I was actually making this mistake for a long time, and basically what was happening is my quadriceps were a lot stronger than my hamstrings. So when I was running sprints and I was doing deadlift and things like that, I noticed that I was pulling my hamstring a good once every 3-4 weeks for a little while, and it was really starting to bother me. So I just kind of did my own research and figured out what was wrong, and I just noticed that once I focused on developing the strength of my hamstrings, everything kind of went together, and I started increasing my deadlift. I increased my deadlift by about 40 or 50 pounds in a month just by focusing on improving the strength of my hamstrings to catch up to my quads. And then so back to the 3-day split, you can do a push-pull, a chest back day, have a leg day where you put equal emphasis on your quads and your hamstrings, and then have an arm day where you do, biceps, triceps, and shoulders. This is a fantastic 3-day training split that'll give you guys that nice balance of all the best exercises, so you're not overemphasizing one muscle group as opposed to another. The second thing holding you back from strength and lean muscle gains is training with low muscle glycogen. And I did an experiment on this myself, and I could not believe the difference that it made in my training. So I used to go on these little low carb diet binges where I would go really low carb, and I'd go in the gym and I'd try to go really heavy on the bench and the squat and the deadlift. So essentially I was training with really low muscle glycogen. So when you eat carbohydrates, your body actually absorbs these carbohydrates to a point, and it's called your muscle glycogen. So obviously when you eat too many carbohydrates, you have a spillover effect where it turns into body fat. But you guys being naturally skinny, having that really fast metabolism, you don't have that problem. So by eating these carbohydrates before you work out and filling your muscles with muscle glycogen, you will perform at your peak capacity, man. I started pounding carbohydrates before my workout, making sure that my muscle glycogen levels were nice and full. And man, the first week, I was probably 15-20 pounds stronger on every single compound exercise. I literally felt like a beast just by eating more carbohydrates before I worked out. So I recommend eating carbs for breakfast and eating a lot of carbs, right before you work out to, fill up your muscle glycogen levels, and make sure that the slow digesting carbohydrates, the complex kind. One of my favorites right now is breakfast. I'll have oatmeal with honey, and then pre-workout I'll do a bunch of brown rice. So those are 2 carbohydrates that have really worked well for me. So pick carbohydrates that you respond well to and that fill up your muscle glycogen, and you guys will increase your strength a bunch. The third thing that I see holding people back from strength and lean muscle gains is dehydration. Guys, you have got to drink so much water. Your body, just think of your body as a machine, and think of the water as this fuel that's gonna, help your body operate like a true machine at its like peak strength and its peak capacity. So you wanna be drinking at least 8 to 10 gallons of water. The easiest thing that you can do is you fill up one of these gallon jugs and just make sure, just bring this big gallon jug with you everywhere you go and make sure that you finish it by the time you go to bed. And 1 gallon is the bare minimum. If you guys are training for an hour and a half, for 2 hours in the gym, you want to be drinking like 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons of water. And another little experiment I did is with the bench press. And I remember one day I bench pressed and I just knew I was really dehydrated. I went to the beach and I hadn't drank a lot of water that day, and it was later in the day, so I maybe had like 1 glass of water by like 4 p.m. and I tried to do a workout and I was so weak on the bench. I just felt like my strength levels were 15 to 20% lower than they normally were. And then 4 days later, I made sure I was super hydrated. I had carbs in my system, had probably about 1 gallon of water in my system before I bench pressed, and I did like 25 pounds more at ease. So you will not believe the effect that dehydration has on your training unless you really compare and contrast being fully hydrated and being really dehydrated. So if you guys aren't seeing strength and lean muscle gains, just, it might be as simple as drinking more water. The fourth thing is creatine, guys. Creatine has helped me so much. It's one of the only scientifically proven supplements that actually helps you increase your strength. It's gonna increase the energy output of your muscle fibers. So when you're more explosive and you have more, force to exert, you guys are naturally gonna get stronger and you're gonna be able to, push more weight on all these compound exercises. And by increasing your strength, what are you gonna do? You're gonna build more lean muscle mass, guys. So increasing strength and increasing muscle mass, they go hand in hand. You guys aren't gonna get huge unless you increase your strength levels by a lot. And creatine is my favorite supplement for naturally skinny guys to elevate your strength levels and to pack on lean muscle mass. So I cannot recommend creatine enough. The last thing holding you back from strength and lean muscle gains is lack of sleep. So let me just break this down in a really easy manner to understand, because this is so important. You could be doing everything else on point, and if you forget this crucial element, you guys will not see strength and lean muscle gains. So you break down your muscle tissue when you're in the gym. So you're actually turning into, you're putting your body in a catabolic state when you exert all this force and output on your muscles and they break down and these little micro tears occur. So what happens is your body needs to naturally repair itself, and it only does this when you're sleeping. When you're sleeping, all these hormones are secreted at optimal levels, like your HGH and your testosterone. All these amino acids are transported, your protein synthesis is occurring, and you're repairing and you're growing lean muscle tissue. When you're not sleeping enough, you're just messing up this process, and then you're going in the gym the next day and you're breaking down more lean muscle tissue. You're continuing to go to a state, a catabolic state, which is a muscle wasting state, and then you don't sleep again, and you see the compound effect this could have over the course of time. Where if you have 3 or 4 shitty nights of sleep and you guys are working out and you're overtraining, you guys have school and you have work and your body is run down, how in the world are you gonna gain lean muscle mass, guys? So I know it's tough, it's gonna take some time management, it's gonna take some discipline, but if you guys are serious about lean muscle gains, I cannot stress enough the importance of at least 7 hours of sleep. I recommend like 8. If you guys are training really hard and you're putting in a lot of effort in school, in the gym, and work, and just all these things across the board, you're probably gonna find that you might need 8 hours of sleep to perform optimally. So I know it's tough, guys. I know that you guys have a lot going on, and if one day you don't get a ton of sleep, don't stress out about it. Don't think that your body's like eating itself or anything like that. But just focus on at least 5 or 6 days a week to get really good sound sleep, and you guys will maximize these lean muscle gains. Your body is a machine and it works really hard, and you need to give it some rest. So give your body some rest. You guys will see some incredible strength and lean muscle gains. And those were 5 things holding most naturally skinny guys back from those lean muscle and strength gains. Anyways, I'm in Brazil and I'm gonna go try to pull an LL Cool J and find myself a big old butt of my own. So if you guys are looking for more great tips on how to bulk up and gain lean muscle mass, check out weightgainmethod.com. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna give you guys 3 hard gainer workout routine strategies. These are 3 things that you can implement into your workout routine every single week that'll help you guys bulk up and gain rock solid lean muscle mass. So let's get right into the list. Number 1 is